The bedroom door was slightly open. Oluchi had come home early from the market, feeling unwell. She heard sounds. Strange sounds. Coming from her bedroom. The bedroom she shared with her husband Dubem. She walked quietly down the corridor, her heart pounding. The sounds became clearer. A woman's voice. Moaning. Her husband's voice. Groaning. She froze outside the door, hand trembling as she pushed it open wider. And there, on her bed, in her room, was her husband Dubem, with another woman. But it wasn't just any woman. It was his mother. But how did we get here? How did a love story turn into such horror? Let me tell you how this evil began. 2 years earlier, when Oluchi was just an innocent girl who believed in love and trusted the warm smile of a woman who would become her worst nightmare. 2 years earlier, Oluchi was the happiest girl in her village. She had met Dubem at a wedding celebration, and from the moment their eyes met, she felt her heart skip. He was handsome, tall and well-built, with gentle eyes and a respectful manner. He approached her family properly, brought palm wine to her father, spoke with humility and grace. "I want to marry your daughter," he told them. "She is the woman I have been praying for." Oluchi's family was impressed. Dubem came from a good family. His father had died 10 years ago, leaving him as the man of the house. He worked hard as a trader and took care of his widowed mother. "A man who respects his mother will respect his wife," Oluchi's father said approvingly. But there were signs. Small things that should have warned her. The way Dubem talked about his mother constantly. "My mother is my world," he would say, eyes shining with devotion. "My mother sacrificed everything for me after my father died. My mother is the strongest woman I know. My mother must approve any woman I marry because she knows what's best for me." At first, Oluchi found it sweet. A man who honored his mother. That was good, wasn't it? The Bible commanded it. Their culture demanded it. But looking back now, she realized the devotion was too intense. Too possessive. The way he said "my mother" sounded less like a son and more like something else. The day came for Oluchi to meet Nnenna. She dressed carefully, wanting to make a good impression. She brought gifts, cloth, yams, and palm oil. Her hands trembled as they approached the compound. "Don't be nervous," Dubem said, squeezing her hand. "My mother will love you." But when Nnenna stepped out to greet them, Oluchi felt a chill despite the hot sun. The woman was beautiful. Too beautiful. She didn't look 48 years old. Her skin was smooth, her body curved and youthful. She wore a wrapper tied low on her hips, and her blouse was cut in a way that seemed inappropriate for a widow meeting her future daughter-in-law. Nnenna's eyes traveled over Oluchi slowly. Not with a mother's warmth, but with cold assessment. Like a rival sizing up competition. "So this is the girl," she said. "Not welcome, my daughter. Just the girl." She invited them inside, but instead of the warm questioning Oluchi expected, Nnenna's interrogation was strange and invasive. "Are you pure? Are you untouched? Have you been with other men? Do you know how to satisfy a man in bed? My son has specific needs." Oluchi's face burned with embarrassment. What kind of mother asked such things? Dubem didn't defend her. He just sat there, nodding, as if these questions were normal. "Mama has a right to know," he said quietly. "She wants the best for our family." Finally, after what felt like hours of examination, Nnenna gave her verdict. "You may marry my son. But there are conditions. You will live here, in this compound. I will teach you how to be a proper wife. I will show you how my son likes things done. And you will never, ever try to separate a mother from her child. Do you understand? Oluchi wore white lace and danced until her feet hurt. But even on her wedding day, something felt wrong. Nnenna cried throughout the entire ceremony. Not tears of joy. These were deep, sobbing tears. The kind a woman cries when she's losing something precious. The village women noticed. Why is the mother crying like that? They whispered. She cries like she's losing a husband, not gaining a daughter-in-law. But Oluchi pushed the comments aside. Every mother cries at her child's wedding, she told herself. This was normal. It had to be normal. But the wedding night shattered that illusion. Oluchi and Dubem entered their bedroom, both nervous and excited. The room Dubem had prepared for them. Their marriage bed. But Oluchi noticed immediately that Nnenna's bedroom was right next door. So close that the walls touched. So close that you could hear everything through the thin partition. They lay down together, and Dubem reached for his wife. But before anything could happen, a knock came at the door. Dubem. Dubem, my son, I need water. Please bring me water. It was Nnenna. Dubem immediately pulled away from Oluchi. I'll be right back, Mama is calling. He went to his mother, leaving his bride alone on their wedding night. This became the pattern. Every single time they tried to be intimate, Nnenna would interrupt. Dubem, I heard a noise outside. Come check. Dubem, I can't sleep. Come sit with me. Dubem, my back hurts. Come massage it for me. And every single time, Dubem would go to his mother. He would leave his wife's bed to attend to Nnenna weeks past. Their marriage remained mostly unconsummated. When they did manage to be together, Dubem seemed distracted, distant. His mind was somewhere else. Or with someone else. Nnenna controlled everything in the house. She cooked all of Dubem's meals herself, never allowing Oluchi to cook for her own husband. She served him like a wife serves a husband, not like a mother serves a son. She would feed him with her own hands, wiping his mouth tenderly, adjusting his collar, smoothing his hair. When Oluchi tried to do these things, Nnenna would physically block her. Step aside. I know what my son likes. You're still learning. The way she touched him made Oluchi's skin crawl. Her hand would linger on his arm too long. Her fingers would trace his jaw when she wiped his mouth. She would sit too close to him, her body pressed against his side. And Dubem never pulled away. He seemed to welcome it, even lean into it. If Nnenna visited one day and witnessed Nnenna sitting on Dubem's lap, laughing and playing with his ear. Oluchi, her friend said urgently when they were alone, that woman treats your husband like her husband. This is not normal. A mother doesn't touch her grown son like that. But Oluchi defended them. She's just a devoted mother. Our culture values respect for elders. I can't disrespect her. Deep down, though, she felt the wrongness growing. Nnenna's behavior became increasingly extreme as the months passed. She monitored everything Oluchi did with an obsessive attention to detail. Every morning, she would inspect what Oluchi wore. If the dress was too fitted, too colorful, too pretty, Nnenna would demand she change. My son doesn't like women who dress like prostitutes. Cover yourself properly. If Oluchi wore makeup, Nnenna would scrub it off her face. Who are you trying to attract? You're a married woman now. My son wants a natural wife, not a painted woman. If Oluchi cooked, Nnenna would taste the food and throw it out. This is not how Dubem likes his egusi soup prepared. The pepper is wrong. The meat is tough. You're useless in the kitchen. Nothing Oluchi did was ever good enough. And Dubem? He always sided with his mother. Mama knows best, he would say. Just listen to her and do as she says. But the real crisis was that Oluchi wasn't getting pregnant. 6 months had passed since the wedding. 6 months of barely any intimacy, but still, people expected results. The village women started talking. Why is her belly still flat? Maybe she's barren. Poor Dubem, married to a woman who cannot give him children. Nnenna would echo these cruel whispers. She would say things like, maybe you're not woman enough for my son. Maybe your body is broken. Maybe God is telling us something. She would look at Oluchi with pity mixed with triumph, as if she was glad her daughter-in-law was failing. Dubem grew colder toward Oluchi. He spent more time with his mother and less with his wife. They would sit together in the evenings, whispering and laughing. When Oluchi entered the room, they would stop talking immediately. Secret conversations. Private jokes. A bond that excluded her completely. One day, Oluchi went into Nnenna's room to return some clothes. What she saw made her freeze. Expensive perfumes lined the dresser. Youth creams. Hair products. Bright red lipstick. Jewelry. And clothes. Revealing clothes. Short wrappers. Low-cut blouses. The kind of things a young woman wore to attract a man, not what a widow should own. Why does a widow dress like this, Oluchi wondered. Who is she trying to attract? The only man in this compound is. Her stomach turned. No. It couldn't be. She remembered something Nnenna often said, a phrase that had always made Oluchi uncomfortable. No man can replace my son. My Dubem is the only man I need. He is my everything. At the time, Oluchi thought it was just a mother's love. But now those words took on a darker, sickening meaning. Oluchi's body began to betray her. She felt constantly sick. Nausea. Weakness. Dizziness. She thought maybe she was finally pregnant, but Nnenna immediately dismissed the idea. That's not pregnancy, that's your weak constitution. Here, drink this special herb tea. It will strengthen your womb and help you finally conceive. Oluchi drank the bitter herbs obediently. But instead of feeling better, she felt worse. Her monthly cycle became irregular. Her stomach cramped. She felt empty and wrong inside. If Nnenna noticed her friend's deteriorating health and insisted they visit Mama Ekwitosi, the village herbalist known for her wisdom and healing powers. Something is wrong with you, if Nnenna said firmly. Let someone who knows traditional medicine examine you properly. Mama Ekwitosi was an old woman with knowing eyes. She felt Oluchi's pulse, examined her tongue, pressed her stomach. Then she prepared a divination, throwing the sacred cowrie shells and reading their pattern. Her face darkened with anger. "Child, you are not barren," Mama Ekwitosi said, her voice heavy with disgust. "Someone is preventing your pregnancy. Someone is giving you herbs specifically designed to block your womb. Powerful herbs. Dangerous herbs. Who prepares your food and drinks?" Oluchi's blood went cold. My mother-in-law. Mema Nnenna. She makes special teas for me. She says they will help me conceive. Those teas are doing the exact opposite, Mema Ekwitosi declared. Someone wants you to remain childless. But why would a mother-in-law want to prevent grandchildren? That makes no sense unless... The old woman's eyes widened with terrible understanding. Unless she sees you not as a daughter, but as competition. Unless she wants her son all to herself. Unless her relationship with her son is unnatural. The word hung in the air like poison. Unnatural. Oluchi wanted to deny it, but suddenly everything made sense. The jealousy. The possessiveness. The way Mama Nnenna touched Dubem. The way she dressed. The way she acted like a wife instead of a mother. The prevention of pregnancy meant no baby to bond Dubem to Oluchi. No child to shift his attention away from his mother. Oluchi returned home with her mind spinning. She began to watch carefully, really seeing for the first time. And what she saw made her want to vomit. The way Mama Nnenna's hand would slide down Dubem's back, too low, too intimate. The way she would lean against him, her breasts pressing against his arm. The way Dubem's hand would rest on his mother's waist, his fingers spreading possessively. One evening, Oluchi pretended to be asleep on the mat in the sitting room. Through half-closed eyes, she saw Mama Nnenna enter. She sat on Dubem's lap, not sideways like a mother might, but straddling him, face to face. They talked in low voices, and then Oluchi's heart stopped. They kissed. Not a peck on the cheek. A deep, passionate kiss. A lover's kiss. A forbidden kiss. The ultimate abomination. Oluchi ran to Ifunanya's house in the middle of the night, barely able to speak through her tears. When she finally told her friend what she had witnessed, Ifunanya grabbed her shoulders. Oluchi, this is abomination. This is alu, the worst taboo. A mother and son cannot. Chinik. This is evil beyond evil. We must expose them. But we need proof. Real proof. Witnesses. Otherwise, they will deny it, and the village will call you a liar and a troublemaker. They formed a plan. Oluchi would pretend to take an overnight trip to visit her mother in the neighboring village. This would give Mama Nnenna confidence, thinking she had her son all to herself with the wife safely away. The next morning, Oluchi announced loudly, "I'm going to visit my mother. She's not feeling well. I'll stay overnight and return tomorrow afternoon." She packed a bag, made a show of leaving, and walked down the village path. But she didn't go far. She circled back and hid in the bush near the compound, waiting for darkness. Mama Nnenna's face when Oluchi announced her departure? Pure joy. Her eyes lit up like a woman whose rival had just left the field clear. That look alone confirmed everything. As night fell, Oluchi crept back to the compound. Her heart pounded so hard she thought it would burst. She positioned herself near the bedroom window, the bedroom she was supposed to share with her husband. The window was slightly open to let in the evening breeze. What she heard made her want to die. Mama Nnenna's voice, breathy and excited. "Finally, she's gone. I've been waiting all day to have you to myself." Dubem's response, "I know, Mama. I've missed you too." She was in the way. Oluchi forced herself to look through the window. And there, in the pale moonlight, she saw the confirmation of every horrible suspicion. Her husband and his mother together. Not just sitting together. Not just touching inappropriately. Fully together. Intimately. Completely. The way a husband and wife would be, not a mother and son. And they were talking casually, comfortably, like this was routine. This was normal for them. "When are you going to send that girl away?" Mama Nnenna asked, running her fingers through Dubem's hair. "She's competition. She's trying to take you from me." "I know, Mama," Dubem replied. "But we have to be patient. If I divorce her too quickly, people will ask questions." "Dubem, my love," Mama Nnenna whispered, "you've been mine since you were 18 years old. Since your father died and I needed comfort. You've always been mine. That girl is just an inconvenience. I had you first. I'll have you last. You are my man. Oluchi couldn't breathe. Since he was 18. This abomination had been happening for 12 years. Throughout his adult life. And he called his mother my love. Her legs gave out. She slumped against the wall of the house, retching silently. Then they began again, and Oluchi couldn't stay any longer. She ran blindly through the darkness, stumbling and falling, running until she reached Ifunanya's house. Her friend took one look at her face and knew. You saw it. You saw everything. Worse, Oluchi sobbed. They've been doing this for 12 years. Since Dubem was 18. His mother has been sleeping with him since he was barely a man. She groomed him. She owns him. And they want me gone. Ifunanya's face hardened with righteous anger. Tomorrow, we expose them. We bring witnesses. This abomination ends tomorrow. Ifunanya worked quickly. She went to Chief Okonkwo, the most respected elder in the village, and told him everything. At first, he refused to believe it. Impossible. No mother would commit such an abomination. This is the worst taboo. You're accusing her of incest, of sleeping with her own son. Do you understand the gravity of this accusation? That's exactly why we need witnesses, Ifunanya insisted. Come with us. See for yourselves. If we're lying, punish us. But if we're telling the truth, this evil must be stopped. Chief Okonkwo gathered Mema Ekwitosi and 3 respected village women. If this is true, he said grimly, it is the worst abomination I have encountered in 50 years of life. The ancestors will demand justice. They positioned themselves around the compound the next afternoon, hidden but close enough to hear and see. Oluchi's hands shook as she walked down the path toward her home, exactly as she had done days before. She had announced that morning that she was going to the market and would return by evening. But she came back early, just past noon. Her footsteps were deliberately loud as she approached the house. The bedroom door was slightly open. She heard the familiar sounds. Her stomach turned, but she forced herself forward. She pushed the door open wider. And there they were again. Her husband Dubem and his mother Nnenna. In the act. In her bed. In her room. The room that was supposed to be sacred to her marriage. Oluchi's scream was genuine, primal, horrified. It was the signal. Chief Okonkwo and the other witnesses rushed from their hiding places. They burst through the door just as Nnenna and Dubem realized they'd been caught. The scene that followed would be talked about in the village for generations. The village women screamed and covered their eyes. Abomination. Alu. Tufiakwa. Mema Ekwitosi began chanting prayers of cleansing. Chief Okonkwo's face twisted with disgust so profound he looked like he might vomit. Nnenna tried to cover herself, tried to lie. This is not what it looks like. She did this. She used juju to confuse us. She bewitched my son. But Chief Okonkwo raised his hand for silence. I saw with my own eyes. We all saw. There is no confusion here. There is only abomination. The entire village was summoned. The sacred meeting place filled with people. When Chief Okonkwo announced why they had gathered, the crowd erupted in horror and disbelief. But the witnesses testified. All of them. They described exactly what they had seen. Mema Ekwitosi stood and revealed her findings. I examined the wife. Someone has been giving her herbs to prevent pregnancy. That someone is the mother-in-law. Why would a woman prevent her daughter-in-law from giving her grandchildren? Because she doesn't want grandchildren. She wants her son all to herself. She sees the wife as a rival, not as family. She has been sleeping with her own son. The crowd erupted again. People shouted in disgust. Some left to vomit. Others wept. Finally, Dubem broke. The weight of the witnesses, the public exposure, the horror on every face. He collapsed and confessed. It's true. All of it. It started when I was 18. My father had just died. Mama said she was lonely, that she needed comfort. She came to my room one night. She said it was natural, that she was teaching me to be a man. And it just continued. For 12 years. I know it's wrong. I've always known. But I couldn't stop. She's my mother. I couldn't say no to my mother. The village fell silent. The confession made it real. Made it undeniable. This wasn't gossip or lies. This was the truth of the deepest taboo being committed right in their midst. Chief Okonkwo stood before the gathered village, his face grave. The ancestors are watching us now. They have witnessed this abomination, and they demand justice. In all my years, I have never encountered such evil. A mother sleeping with her own son. This is alu, the worst taboo. This is incest. This is a sin so profound that it pollutes the entire village. The land itself cries out for cleansing. He pronounced judgment in a voice that shook with rage and disgust. Nnenna, you who perverted the sacred bond between mother and child, you who groomed your own son from youth, you who treated your daughter-in-law as a rival instead of as family, you are hereby banished from this village forever. You will be taken to the evil forest and left there. You may never return. If you try, you will be killed on sight. The ancestors will deal with you there. Nnenna screamed, no. You can't do this. His my son. I raised him. He was mine first. Before any wife, before anyone, he was mine. I own him. He belongs to me. Her words revealed the depth of her sickness, her twisted possessiveness. She truly believed her son was her property, her lover, hers to keep forever. Dubem, Chief Okonkwo continued, you are a grown man who chose to continue this abomination. You are not a child. You knew it was wrong, yet you did it anyway. You betrayed your wife, your family, your village, and the ancestors. You are hereby stripped of your family name. You are disgraced. No woman will ever touch you. No family will accept you. You will live as an outcast. The judgment for Oluchi brought tears to every eye. Oluchi, you are innocent in this evil. You have been wronged beyond measure. Your marriage is dissolved immediately. You owe nothing to this family. You are free. We will perform the cleansing rituals. The ancestors will restore your dignity and your future. Nnenna was dragged away, still screaming. He was mine first. I gave birth to him. I made him who he is. You can't take him from me. Even then, she showed no remorse, no shame, only rage at losing her possession. Dubem collapsed on the ground, finally understanding what he had become. What have I done? He wept. What have we done? I destroyed everything. My wife, my life, my soul. But it was too late for remorse. The damage was complete. The village elders performed elaborate cleansing rituals. They burned down the compound where the abomination had occurred. This ground is cursed, they declared. No one must ever live here again. Mimar Equitosi performed spiritual cleansing on Oluchi, washing away the pollution of living in that evil house. Oluchi's family took her home. 4 months, she couldn't speak, couldn't eat, couldn't sleep without nightmares. But slowly, with the love of her family and the support of Nnenna, she began to heal. The village embraced her, making it clear she was a victim, not a participant in the evil. 6 months after the exposure, news reached the village. Nnenna had died alone in the evil forest. Some said wild animals had eaten her. Others said she had gone mad and died of starvation. The elders nodded grimly. The ancestors have spoken. They do not tolerate such abomination. Dubem never recovered. He became a drunk, wandering from place to place, unable to find peace or redemption. A year later, he died young, his body found by the river. The curse of abomination, the elders said. The ancestors struck him down. But Oluchi? She survived. 2 years later, a good man from another village heard her story and fell in love with her strength. He had no overbearing mother, no twisted family secrets. Their courtship was gentle and pure. They married, and within months, Oluchi became pregnant. The herb's effects had finally left her body. She gave birth to beautiful children. She built a happy home. She lived the life that had been stolen from her. And so the village learned the most horrifying lesson: evil can wear the face of a mother. Nnenna's love was not love at all. It was possession, obsession, and the deepest sin. She groomed her own son, perverted him from youth, and destroyed 3 lives with her twisted desire to own him forever. Some mothers are not mothers. They are predators in disguise. The ancestors teach us to honor our parents, but not when that honor becomes slavery. Not when that love becomes incest. Dubem's weakness destroyed him. He could have stopped it, but he chose comfort over righteousness. True strength means breaking free from evil, even when that evil birthed you. But Oluchi rose from the ashes. She exposed the abomination and saved herself. The taboo was punished. The evil was destroyed. And life, pure and good, continued for those brave enough to choose righteousness over comfort. Remember this tale, and beware the mother who sees her son as a husband, and the son too weak to say no.